All right, we're going to continue with part 2 of this practice test. I hope y'all done well on 1 through 7. Hope you did better than I did on number 7 with my careless mistake. But anyway, that's all right. I found it. It happens. So, which expression is equivalent? Let's see, I've got an M, and I've got a plain number and a plain number. So I can put these plain numbers together. So, I need to pay attention. We've got to watch our negatives. That's a negative. And you can think about that as a negative or a minus. Either way, when I put that in my calculator, let me move it over here because it doesn't have as bad of a glare. So 2, ABC1, ABC4. So we've got our fraction in. Then we make it negative by that button by the equal sign. And then minus, punch it in just like you see it, 6, ABC1, ABC4. And then hit equals. So we bring down our negative 4M. And we got minus 8.5. So we've got to look over here and see which one of those is going to be equal to this. Well, if I check the first one, we distribute, all of the first ones work because they all give me negative 4M when I distribute. So what I'm looking for is which one is going to give me a negative 8.5. So if I do a negative 1 times, a negative 4 times 1, I'm going to get negative 4. That's not what I want. When I do negative 4 times 8 and 1/8, so I've got 4, make it negative, times 8, ABC1, ABC8. And that gives me, again, I can't even punch my numbers in, gracious. 4, make it negative, times 2, ABC1, ABC8. There we go, negative 8.5. Which that does match, and that's what I'm looking for, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be my answer, but we can't even talk. Gracious, I need to quit for the day, I reckon. Negative times a negative, that's going to give me a positive 4. We know that's not what I'm looking for. And then a negative times a negative is going to give us a positive 8.5. So we're just double checking. So we know that the only one that gave us our negative 8.5 that we were looking for was B. Okay. So one more page. Getting in short rows. So now we're looking again for combining our like terms. So we've got a positive 8x, and we've got, that's a positive 17. So 8 and 17 is going to give us 25 x's. Got to be super careful because that negative, a minus a negative, and, doesn't say minus a negative. I swear, I'm having a rough day. I apologize. That's minus 11, which is the same thing as negative 11. And then we've got a plus 5. So, if I punch in 11, we'll make it negative because now it looks just like this. And then I'm going to do plus 5. And I get minus 6. And I should put an X with that to make it correct. So when I look over here, my answer again is B. Okay? Now Linda and James each wrote an expression using variables A, B, and C. Now we're asked to find the sum of these two expressions. Remember, sum means to add them together. So we've got a 2A and a negative 3A. Well, it says to add them together. So let's do 2 plus negative 3. So 2 plus 3, make it negative. That's going to be a negative 1. So negative 1A and a negative A is the same thing. Okay, probably don't need the calculator for the next one to add a 10 and a 5. That's going to be plus 15B. And then a negative C and a positive C, that's just going to cancel out. Okay, so we're going to look for which one of these match. And they didn't use the 1, and that's okay. You don't have to use the 1. But we want a negative A and a positive 15B. So our answer is going to be B. All right, now we've got several equations to solve. So if I get ready to solve this one, and I don't have a different color pen in front of me, but that's okay, we'll make it work. I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. Remember, I'm solving for j. That cancels out. 6j equals, when I subtract this, I get 36. Divide by 6, and j equals 6. So my answer will be C. Okay, for the next one, I'm going to add 3 to both sides. That cancels out. I've got n divided by 9 equals 11. Now the opposite of multiplying is dividing, so the opposite of dividing is going to be multiplying. So we're going to multiply both sides by 9, and n equals 99. These are a lot faster than those word problems. So add 16 to both sides. 4j. Now we don't have an equal sign this time, we have an inequality. And that's going to give us 60. Divide both sides by 4. J less than or equal to, and that's going to be 15. So looking for the one that matches, and I have to be careful because this one's missing the line under it. Alright, last but not least, divide both sides by 3, and C is greater than or equal to, that's going to be a negative 14. So if I look for the one that matches, that's going to be B. Now, had I divided by negative 3, then that sign would have flipped. Only when you multiply or divide by negative. That was a crazy rule we talked about. If you have any questions on these, just email me and we can do an individual Google Meet. If you test tomorrow, good luck.